The collaboration, Young Vic Theatre, London. Rating, verdict, stars align playing the artists Andy Warhol and Jean-Michel Basquiat at London's Young Vic Theatre. Johnny Depp's buddy Paul Bettany and Jeremy Pope are simply made for each other. Stage chemistry like this is something you better just smoke. Their exquisite pairing comes in a new play by Anthony McCartan, writer of screen biopics including The Two Popes and Bohemian Rhapsody. Here, he imagines the collaboration between the most famous artists of their day, after they were introduced by their Swiss-German agent Bruno Bischofberger in 1982. It was a remarkable association of two very different artists that bore fascinating fruit. Warhol was a fey, elusive, white, gay man specializing in reproducing multiple screen prints of such American icons as Marilyn Monroe and Campbell's Canned Soup. Basquiat was a boyish black graffiti artist from Brooklyn who at one stage slept rough on the streets. Where Warhol's art was intellectual and mechanical, Basquiat's art was free-flowing and highly colored, drawing on Haitian voodoo symbols. Warhol styled himself as sublimely superficial, offering little more in public than gosh and that is so great. Basquiat, however, wanted nothing less than to raise the dead with his work. The remarkable chemistry between Bettany and Pope is, therefore, rooted in the fact that their characters were both eccentric personalities who understood and accepted each other's fragility. We meet Bettany's germphobic Warhol with his career in decline alongside his health, in the wake of being shot by a friend, so rude, he complains. Basquiat, meanwhile, is the febrile outsider who believed his paintings to be sacred, didn't trust banks and kept millions of dollars stashed, in cash, in his fridge. Bettany plays Warhol as an albino daddy-longlegs in a white wig and red glasses, with a habit of ponderously scratching his arms. Pope's Basquiat wears a wounded, childlike expression that cues his girlfriend's desire simply to run him a bath and wash him. Perhaps it's a little uncool that McCartan seeks to unmask Warhol's closely guarded insecurities, but his legend survives the indignity and he remains a fathomless weirdo. Basquiat's own legend is perhaps enhanced by his portrayal as a spiritual lightning conductor who sought peace by taking the heroin that eventually killed him in 1988. Watching the unlikely convergence of their two souls as they are first standoffish with each other, then bicker and slowly get down to work is at the center of what feels like a very tender, super kooky and entirely chaste love story. The script is also peppered with great lines, including Warhol's comment that death is like shopping in Bloomingdale's, it's nothing. Basquiat, meanwhile, tosses in the wishful assertion that art should disturb the comfortable and comfort the disturbed, assuming you can afford it. Great fun is had, too, by Alec Newman as the duo's gallerist Bruno, an atypical sycophant who looks and sounds like a mini Schwarzenegger. But Sophia Barkley as Basquiat's cash-hungry girlfriend is more straightforwardly batty. Kwame Kwei-Armah's hypnotic production, set in the artist's paint-spattered studios with projected views of Manhattan, is never maudlin or pious. It fizzes instead, thanks to Basquiat playing Miles Davis jazz trumpet on a tape, and it rocks awesomely thanks to a DJ on a balcony spinning 1980s club anthems including Mars and Grace Jones. A great night out. A too much costume drama, Royal Shakespeare Theatre, Stratford-upon-Avon. Rating, verdict, too much ado about the togs. The Royal Shakespeare Company is laying on one of the most lavish costume parades I've ever seen outside a carnival. Roy Alexander Weese's production of Much Ado About Nothing is set in a futuristic, space-age Nigeria and looks like a Technicolor planet William Shatner's Captain Kirk might have landed on in the 1960s Star Trek series. Melissa Simon Hartman's costumes are so loud they turn one of the Bard's most effervescent and funny comedies into a species of sci-fi pantomime. A catwalk might better have suited Akia Henry as sharp-tongued Beatrice, who's locked in a feud with sworn bachelor Benedict, Luke Wilson. Henry starts the show with a huge, sweeping white dress and a giant golf ball of white hair, before being fitted with an even bigger dress and a flower trellis headpiece that makes her look like a garden ornament at Versailles. This is followed by a rustling glitter curtain skirt, cut from foil blankets more often used by paramedics. To make herself heard inside these outfits she has to bellow out the Bard's acid wit. Other female characters are similarly dressed, but the men, including easygoing Benedict, are less hampered by their more sober costumes. The play's Keystone Cops, however, don't get off so lightly. They wear shuttlecock headgear, V-shaped breastplates set with road hazard markings and stripy neon sunglasses. There is smoky incidental music mixing gospel, jazz, funk and soul, as well as a Stormzy scrap at the graveside of Beatrice's cousin Hero after she is stood up at the altar. Visually, though, the play is overloaded thanks also to a gold fountain, extraterrestrial plants and curtains of hieroglyphic emojis. Shakespeare is reduced to a dowdy old bore who just keeps getting in the way. Red Pitch, Bush Theatre, London, rating, verdict, look out Mbop talent scouts should get down to West London's Bush Theatre, where an unusually gifted new playwright can be seen running circles round his audience. Tyrell Williams is a seriously promising young scribe, and if he's not swallowed up by film or TV, he has a big future on stage. His 90-minute drama is about three 16-year-old football-loving kids who practice regularly on a pitch in their neighborhood, or, to use the parlance, their ends. It's a coming-of-age story in which the trio's South London estate and beloved pitch have been earmarked for redevelopment. Their local chicken shop has already yielded to Costa Coffee. Williams has an effortless gift for street slang, and his dialogue, never vulgar, has the rhythm and musicality of great writing. His characters are sweet, too, locked as they are in perpetual status games that move faster than the shimmies and dropped shoulders of the French wonderkind footballer Kylian Mbappé. All Williams needs now is a bigger stadium. Another test of great writing is the acting, and Kedar Williams-Sterling, Emeka Sisse and Francis Love Hall take to Williams's words like the Liverpool front line to the turf at Anfield. Simply staged by Daniel Bailey with the audience seated around a small pitch, the boys' slick movement is minutely choreographed, allowing them to score with their tremendous vocal, physical and emotional agility. Not aimed at anyone much over 20, I recommend going with kids, you'll likely need an interpreter anyway. Private Peaceful, Nottingham Playhouse, then touring rating, verdict, the price of brotherly love. This field court-martial finds the accused, Private Peaceful, guilty as charged. The charge is cowardice. So begins the first staging of Michael Morpurgo's novel about a couple of brothers from rural Devonshire caught up in a battle in which pitiless English squirearchy, a sadistic army sergeant and the casually careless military authorities prove far more lethal than the invading Germans. Having already turned it into a one-man play and a film, Simon Reed has now adapted it into an ensemble drama. more modest than the phenomenal adaptation with puppets of Marpurgo's War Horse, it is, nevertheless, a moving play about brotherly love and sacrifice. Above Elwile's beautifully lit production hangs a tangle of thick steel wire suggesting the clouds over the Devon hillside, the barbed wire between the trenches and no man's land, and the scrambled minds and mangled bodies of young soldiers, blown to blazes by the terrors of the Great War. It starts at the end, with Dan Rainford's baby-faced 17-year-old Tomo peaceful, recalling his life as the seconds tick away before the scheduled dawn execution. A cast of adults conjure the sunny days of innocence, where wood pigeons coo and Molly teaches Tomo to tie his shoelaces, and with whom both he and Charlie, the elder brother he hero worships, fall in love. In the darker second half, birdsong gives way to gunfire as terrified Tomo and Cavalier Charlie shelter in rat-infested trenches before being sent to their slaughter. Throughout, the symbolism is a mite crude and there is too much broad character acting going on. But this is the flaw of the original, forgivable in a children's book. Where this show soars and sings is when the doomy hum of war is broken by music, folk songs, hymns, nursery rhymes and drinking songs, all vividly rooting the piece in a place and a time. The final bloody sunrise leaves a devastating, indelible image of a wasted life. Georgina Brown best seat in the house, Hamlet. Freddie Fox plays the Dane in Guildford Shakespeare Company's lively and sold-out modern dress production in a church. Watch at home at 2:30 p.m. or 7:30 p.m. on March 3rd to 5th, £25 tickets at Guildford Shakespeare Company. Co.uk